We are CEOs, executives, educators, and professionals from all sectors of society who support the global expansion of betterment in the world through joy and Joyely. I'm your host, Sheryl Lynn, founder of the Chair of Joy Experience. Together, we have developed the World Council of Joy, and our council invites CEOs and innovators from impactful organizations to the Joyely podcast. We showcase how generous, bold, and fully engaged they are in their work and what a culture of joy is to them.
I'm Meghann Conter, the founder and creator of The Dames. We are an international organization for women running 6- and 7-figure businesses, and we are all about having fun while you grow your business and not lose your life in the process. I love that I am here today because what I think is really most important about being a CEO of an organization is that the CEO does what the CEO says she does. Joy is important to me, and it is crucial for my team and everyone that I lead in my organization. Joy is important to me and to my team and to the community that I lead, because we can do anything and we can do it just to do it. We can do anything seriously, we can do anything with a placid look on our faces, we can do anything while being bored to death, and that to me is not living life. That to me is not living in our mission, in our vision, and in our why, which is really to spread love and fun all over the world through business. And that is why we focus on things even in the Dames, such as comedy, always having comics and improv performers come into our organization. We do those kinds of activities with my team. I am constantly breaking into different accents so that I can really just break everyone out of serious and come to a space where they realize that seriousness is not life. Life is much more enjoyable than that if we allow it to be. Yeah. So the reason I started the Dames was because I was at a point where I was leading other people's networking groups and I kept finding the same problems. People were business cards stabbing each other to death. People were hunting each other like prey at networking events, and people were picking each other's brains by putting each other in a corner and asking them questions about their areas of expertise without paying them for their expertise and their genius. Those were the 3 top reasons that I was like, this can't continue. Not to mention, I was growing my own 6-figure business to 7 figures, and I couldn't find my peers around me and my mentors. So I decided to start a network that was very specific for a specific kind of woman who runs a 6- and 7-figure business, and that we were going to have a reverse mullet approach to networking, which is about fun in the front, business in the back. Let everyone be disarmed and everyone come together with their most authentic self at the forefront so that we can actually be ourselves and connect and really help one another as we're growing our businesses into the more serious levels where we can really create gainful employment for people, we can create dynamic company cultures, and grow businesses that are very feminine driven with feminine energy at the forefront as well. Big vision. My big vision is to have chapters all around the world where women who are running 6-figure businesses in Sri Lanka and women who are running 6-figure businesses in Canada and in Colorado can get together and learn from one another, help each other, mastermind with each other, and we can completely change the stratosphere of business by women driving business. And that is a total change from, the old patriarchy to the matriarchy. And what we are doing is bringing creativity to the forefront, intuition to the forefront, collaboration to the forefront, so that we can really explode the world in good ways with innovation and businesses that change the culture of business forever. Because I think that we have, as women, a lot of beliefs that in order to be taken seriously, we have to be serious all the time. Joy can't be a priority. We have to have numbers at the forefront. We have to have this way of doing business that has been done for the last several centuries. Has to be the way we do business. And that is what we are completely debunking and demystifying in the Dames. We're saying, you know what, let's put the other joyful business owners, like Sheryl Lynn of JOYELY, let's put those business owners at the forefront and show those smiling faces and show what it is actually looking like in practicality. You can say all day long that you're joyful, but if you can't show how you're doing that in your business, it's not actually true. So it's about looking at how do you be joyful in marketing? How do you be joyful in finance and profit first? And how do you be joyful with your operations? And how do you bring some fun and some character and some creativity and innovation to everything you do in your business? that's what we are teaching and portraying on a daily basis, because we can't be what we can't see. And so we have those models in the Dames, myself and others, that are teaching us how it's done and that are showing the way. So I think that there are a lot of organizations out there that are doing a really great job by leading with what it is that they do well. So sometimes it's sisterhood, sometimes it's, you know, the rising tide rises all ships, sometimes it's the heartfelt communities, sometimes it's women are just as smart as men. You know, there's a lot of different communities that are being led out there. I think the Dames is leading from a different direction. We're leading from that aspect of fun and joy first, and that is very different than what else is out there, to be honest. I haven't seen a lot of others that are using comedy and using humor and improv and ways that we can really get into our true aligned selves. I haven't seen a lot of organizations using that. That is something that makes the Dames unique. It exemplifies what the Dames is. It exemplifies the Chair of Joy brings out in us what everyone needs to see. And I think that's what more women and men who are coming up in the leadership ranks need to know, is that we can be ourselves. We can be exactly what we came here to be, and we should be. We don't have to follow in the footsteps of what others have done just because that's what society has said we need to do. That's bull. And we are here to, I think both of us as different organizations are here to change that face and to make it known that if you're not joyful in business, you're doing something wrong. It happens every time I stand in front of a room of Dames at one of our events. It happens virtually, it happens in person, and it's this feeling of the energy being transmitted through the camera or through all the people that are sitting in front of me. And it's my time to impart a little bit of the joy that I have in me and spread that love in everyone else, to everyone else in the audience. And that is like this vessel of full love and joy that I get to just spill over onto others. And that's like the moment that brings me the most amount of joy and satisfaction and happiness. And I can just remember all those times of performing in front of people when I was little and realizing, oh, this is a fun spot for me to be in. This spot of like just being goofy and being fun and helping people laugh. I'd probably tell them to close their eyes and find the place that they can feel in their field, in their bodies, that has a spark of any color, and to feel into that spot and to feel into their hearts and let that just grow to the size of the world and let that continue to emanate out. And then I'd probably open the box and let all the fireworks come out and just have sparkles everywhere. Not sparkles, but fireworks that don't make noise. Because what that spark is inside of them and what that allows them to do is feel their own love. It allows them to feel their own self, and that can only be coming from inside of them. If they ever look outside of themselves to try to find the joy, they're never going to find it. So they always have themselves. They're walking around with themselves all the time. If you can find that joy spark and you can make it, you can allow it to grow bigger, you can never be unhappy. You can never be lost. You can never be sad. Even when the times are the hardest, you still have that spark in you, and you're allowed to, you are in choice to be able to allow that to grow and to take up the world around you. If people could sit in their own chair of joy 3 times a day, I believe they would come much closer to achieving their epic missions and visions that they have for themselves in the world. I believe that they would live a much more significant and joyful life. And I believe that the things that they chose to do as a result of that pause in their day would have ripple effects on everyone around them. And it would just cause everyone to have more of themselves. So if all of the Dames in my community sat in their chair of joy 3 times a day and let themselves pause and feel that joy, they would get much closer to achieving their epic missions, like transforming the world of lawyers and making it so that lawyers aren't so sad and stressed out and overwhelmed. And they would transform the world of marketing, and they would make it so that everyone was so joyful about doing their own marketing that they couldn't even stand it. They couldn't even stop talking about their own businesses. And they would change the world as it relates to mentorship of teens, and we would have, you know, teenagers that grow up in a space where their educators are their parents and their friends. And we would have women who are achieving their missions, like teaching self-defense where it's necessary in a way that love comes through. Even I can always access more of my joy. Even I can take time to pause more throughout my day, to sit in my joy chair, my chair of joy, and to be able to feel the connection that I have to what it is that I'm building. And that spark is always there for me to ignite, and it's always there for you to ignite, and it's always there for everyone else to look at, fan that flame, and make it bigger and brighter. What I see altogether too often with women business owners is the focus on all the details and getting stuck in the details, getting mired in all of the things that have to be done in order for them to achieve their missions, without investing in other people that can come into their businesses and help them expand and help them be more joyful and help them accomplish the things that they know that they're here to accomplish faster, because we can't do it on our own. And women need to let go of control faster, and they need to bring in those team members that our culture fits for them, because we have important things to do. And the longer we wait and the longer we take, the less joy we have. We have to get out of our own way and stop trying to control the world. That's not how we lead, that's not how we're going to achieve the things that we're here to achieve, and that's certainly not how we expand.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.